know the truth. You are his tool, brought back to Rapture to save him. You have saved many of my little ones. I owe you a debt. While you sleep, I undo some of Fontaine's mental conditioning. His control is no longer complete, but he can still pull some very unpleasant strings. We made your mind with many locks and keys. Fontaine has most of those keys, but not all. Suchong designed your mind, taught Fontaine to control you. You might find answers in Suchong's flat in Mercury Suites.
Welcome back, Amibros, to Bioshock. In the last episode, we killed Andrew Ryan, preventing him from destroying the city. However, it was a short-lived victory, as the man who we thought to be Atlas was actually Frank Fontaine in disguise this entire time. Not only that, but he also revealed us to be nothing more than a genetically engineered pawn for his scheme, ending with us inadvertently handing control of the city to him. So all in all, bit of a bummer situation, but all's not lost. As Tenenbaum stated, there is a way to escape Fontaine's control over us. We just have to look. But for right now, let us enjoy the fruits of our labor. A lot of the little sisters in Tenenbaum's safe house are little sisters we've rescued throughout our time in Rapture so far, which creates a nice sense of continuity that I very much like. But if you had to ask me, this is one of the main reasons why I go out of my way to rescue the little sisters. First off, narratively speaking, it makes a hell of a lot more sense rescuing them versus harvesting them. You know, anytime a little sister is put in danger, you go out of your way to rescue them. And when it's time that you're put in danger, they go out of their way to save you. So I always liked that role reversal that they did if you went out of your way to rescue them. Whereas if you harvest them, you're putting them in even more danger because you end up killing them by harvesting them. And by the time you're put in danger, they still save you anyway? Like, I mean, even if it's your first time playing and Fontaine coerces you into doing it, Tenenbaum scolds you if you harvest the first little sister. So why is she helping you? It makes no sense. You know, I mean, I don't know. I guess because you were coerced, she thinks you can be turned around. But spoiler warning, if you spent most of your time harvesting the little sisters and then decided to make a massive heel turn, you're still not getting a good ending. You're getting a mediocre ending. And, that makes no sense to me.
Hooked up with Tenenbaum, huh, kid? She's a regular mother goose. Alright, fun's fun, kid. But now, go get stepped on by a big daddy. Would you kindly?
How about you eat a sack of dicks, Fontaine?
Huh? I says, would you kindly go get stepped on by a big daddy?
Your mother's a fucking ham sandwich.
Seems like Mother Goose has been playing around in your egg salad. If you won't dance to that tune, I got others. Code Yellow.
Gah! Heart attack!
I just told your brain to tell your heart to stop beating. Not right off the bat, mind you. The heart's a stubborn muscle, but it ain't that stubborn.
Fontaine, why didn't you activate this when you were betraying us? Smart con man, give me a break.
Fontaine's control, then you can have your revenge. And we can keep my little ones out of his filthy hands.
That's assuming there even is a way to free us from Fontaine's control, but I admire your optimism, Tenenbaum. With that being said, welcome to Olympus Heights, the next level after Hephaestus, and the level where the narrative for this game starts to lose steam. Sorry about that. But I'll get into that later. For right now, let's bash this splicer in with our mighty wrench, because if there's one thing in this city that won't betray us, it is our mighty wrench. That and the other guns we've accumulated over the course of this game. I know Rover won't betray me. Won't you, Rover? Nor you, Manny. nor Greg. And as well as the other weapons I've named. I think Carmine, I named the crossbow. And then I think... I forgot it. I don't think I even gave a name for the chemical thrower. What name would I give a chemical thrower? Cameron. Cameron the chemical thrower. There we go. Although Cameron, I think... No, I named the camera Cameron. I don't know. I'm bullshitting here. Anyway... for those of you wondering why I haven't fully upgraded any of my guns aside from the grenade launcher yet, it's kind of a silly reason, but I think certain weapons like the machine gun and the pistol look better with one of their upgrades versus them being fully upgraded. Like, a fully upgraded machine gun, to me, just looks very, very silly. See, look at that. Manny having the increased damage upgrade, it looks cool. It looks like something you'd see in Rapture, but a fully upgraded Manny just looks silly to me. You'll see what I mean when we get there, but yeah, that's the reason. It's purely aesthetic. And I know that's a very silly reason, but it's a reason, you know, however flaccid it may be. But now that dear Fontaine has finally stepped out of the shadows, I figure now's the best time to complete my discussion of Andrew Ryan that I started in the last episode, especially with the added context of our encounter with him, as well as the character of Frank Fontaine. This is largely subjective, but that cutscene with Ryan is one of the greatest cutscenes in gaming. In the last episode, I mentioned that Ken Levine made Ryan as a character of ideas, that come what may, Ryan will die with his ideals intact before he ever submits, as we've seen and heard leading up to our encounter with him. If he wanted to, he could have killed us, but he didn't. I mean, after all, better to reveal that we are a puppet being used in a grander scheme than believe we have a choice in what we're doing. And like all puppets, we are tossed aside once our role has been fulfilled. Also, in addition to that, the fact that that moment between you and Ryan is a cutscene at all, I find so incredibly effective, because it helps illustrate just how little control you do have in that situation. Hell, not even in that situation, but the entire game up to that point. You know, because try what you may, you can't play the rest of the game without killing Andrew Ryan. No matter what you do, you have to kill him. You know, and more often than not, you'll hear people say that cutscenes tend to rob gamers of, or they tend to rob games of critical moments, because video games are in of themselves an interactive medium. You know, the player should have a choice in these moments, or they should have a say, and to a certain extent I am inclined to agree. But then you have a game like Bioshock that introduces the notion of, you know, critiquing that idea that, you know, the player just simply following orders because, you know, somebody else told them to, never questioning it, and using that as a plot twist. I just find so incredibly unique, and again, it helps illustrate that when used correctly, cutscenes can add to the moments of a game. You know, because like I said before, you talk to anybody that has played Bioshock front to back multiple times, I guarantee you they will say that the moment between you and Andrew Ryan, when he reveals that not all is as it seems, is one of the best moments, you know, including myself, you know, as I'm talking about it. You know, playing this game all the way back in 2009, 2010-ish, I didn't understand much of the deeper meaning behind that scene, as I was fairly young at the time, but replaying it over the years and looking at it with more, I don't want to say mature, but older set of eyes, I guess. You know, splitting hairs, I think. But understanding the meaning behind it and the actions of Ryan at that moment makes it all the more impactful to me. You know, even to this day, I still get shivers every time that scene plays, as the signs are right there at the beginning, and there are even more I'm noticing to this day, like Fontaine's Irish
Adam
accent
improved every
breaking in a
aspect
few
of man
instances.
except his character.
Also, speaking of
Perhaps there is a
Fontaine,
plasmid
I
that
hope
can
you
grow
were a
his
fan
spirit.
of
Perhaps through
Ryan's
your
trash talking at
DNA.
Hephaestus,
This
because
secret
throughout
life.
the rest of this game,
I sent the
Fontaine's just going
little
to be
one with
talking
some
shit to
goodies
you
to help
every
teach your
5
purpose.
minutes. Ugh, and I gotta say, I do not like that. That is one of the reasons why I think this game's narrative starts to dip after you kill Andrew Ryan, because Fontaine goes from this scheming, dangerous person who concocted this entire thing, and he just suddenly becomes a common crook. You know, that he just basically becomes another Andrew Ryan, just less sophisticated. And speaking of becoming another person or filling another role, I hope you enjoy Tenenbaum as your guide instead of Atlas, because Tenenbaum is essentially just another Atlas, uh, just with a little bit more sass. That's it. And again, this is one of the reasons. These are the reasons why I think the game's narrative just takes a dip, because I feel the developers didn't, or the writing staff especially, didn't really take into account how the choices lined up so much with where you are currently. You know, I mentioned before that if you go out of your way to harvest the Little Sisters, them helping you makes no sense. Because you are the one that's putting them in danger. You're the one that's harming them, so why should they help you? Again, Tannenbaum shouldn't feel sorry for you. She not only gave you the cure to save the Little Sisters from their torment, but and you still disobeyed her. You still disobeyed her. You know, I feel the way it should have worked is you should have been left outside of Hephaestus, or not Hephaestus, but Olympus Heights. You should have been left outside of Olympus Heights, and Tannenbaum points you in the direction for how you can break Fontaine's control, and then she doesn't tell you about a second dosage or whatever. Because spoiler alert, we're gonna have to pick up another dosage of something to free ourselves from Fontaine's control. But I'll get to that later. But yeah, this is also the moment where the game just has a more depressive, I can't even speak today, a more depressing outlook in terms of the visuals. It's not abundantly clear right now, but when we get there, you'll see exactly what I mean. But yeah, we're now exploring a brand new level, Olympus Heights. Pretty much this level used to house the best and brightest minds of Rapture. Think Suchong, Tannenbaum, and, as we'll see later on, Sander Cohen. Yep, we're crossing paths with him once again, like I said we would, at Fort Frolic. So be on the lookout for that. But yeah, as a level, it's not bad. It's just the layout of it is... The layout always felt weird to me. You know, and let me get that out of the way right now. With the sole exception of one level in particular, none of the levels in this game are bad. They're very fun to explore, gameplay-wise, and even learning how they play a part in Rapture as a whole, I actually really like. In fact, that's one of the details I really love about this game. The developers, when making this game, ask themselves, okay, if this is a city that we're supposed to make believable, then what does a city need to function? And we've seen how well Rapture functioned before, you know, again, it went to hell. You know, we've seen the entertainment centers like Fort Frolic and Arcadia. We've seen the industrial side of it, like Hephaestus and Fontaine Fisheries, or Neptune's Bounty in this case. We've even seen where people went to go get checked up, you know, in Medical Pavilion. You know, and now we're seeing where, you know, the best and brightest used to live, and pretty soon we'll be seeing where the common folk used to live. You know, like all these locations, it helps make the city, despite its location, all that more believable. I mean, some levels are clearly better than others, but none of them are terrible to go through. Again, with the sole exception of one, but we'll be getting to that. Okay, maybe two, but like I said, we'll be getting to that. Baby steps. So over here, we see another Big Daddy with a little sister. For Olympus Heights, there are only 2 little sisters to worry about. And we're about to rescue our last one for this level as soon as we're done taking a picture. Can I complete another research level for the Rosie? Let's see, can I? Boom! Completed! Triple damage, which we're going to need because Fontaine is a jerkwad. Yeah, because he activated Code Yellow, our health will continuously decrease until we find a way to break free from his control. I'm not sure if there's a limit to how low our health will go, but yeah, our health will continuously decrease, making encounters with Big Daddies, especially, a lot more strenuous. So when it comes to it, grab ammo types that can put them down easily, as well as plasmids and tonics that make you not have to get in the thick of it, because being reckless at this stage of the game isn't good. It pays to be careful until you are freed from Fontaine's control. But we'll be getting to that soon. But on the bright side, while our health decreases, our Eve doesn't. So any Eve upgrades we buy at a Gatherer's Garden, we can take advantage of with new plasmids that we can buy. Also, if you did rescue the little sisters from Hephaestus, chances are the next little sister you rescue here will reward you with another teddy bear containing 200 Atom, as well as a new combat tonic, Armored Shell 2, which, yeah, it's okay. You're not gonna really be encountering Thuggish Splicers in this level, more so Leadhead and Nitro Splicers, but that's the thought that counts, Tenenbaum. The thought that counts. But as we saw there, we're at the apartment of one Sander Cohen, which we'll be exploring next time on Bioshock. See you guys then.
That's quite a little monster Fontaine's dug up. When she does speak, which is almost never, her accent is thick and grating. Her hair is filthy, and she seems to wear the same mustard-stained jumper day after day. But I've got to hand it to Frank. Tenenbaum is the old-timer diamond in the rough. No formal training, no experience, but put her in front of a gene sequence and she's Mozart at the harpsichord.